Thanks, Shantanu. We are running out of time or going beyond the next session. Any questions from the media? Pradeep, you wanted to make a couple of points. Can you make it? You are threatening me by saying presentation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, please.
Let me do that without presentation.
Yeah. If that is possible.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Cough and cold caught me yesterday, so a little difficult for me to speak. We've been into digital marketing education for last 5 years, and if I look into the journey in 5 years, there is one, very visible trend which is there in India. When we started our journey in 2009, I still remember the key objective of our training programs used to be why social media. Like 2009 and 2010 early, everyone wants to ask why should they get into social media. And that continued for a certain period. But if I look into now over last few years, recently especially, that question has moved from why to how, and even social has expanded to entire digital. There have been, incidences or examples of people, not just professionals. There are politicians, there are government officials, there are producers, there are actors who have been part of our training program. So I've seen that, beyond profession, it has moved to all possible kinds of organizations and individuals who are today interested in using this medium. And I'm not sure how many of you know we've been talking about numbers since morning. Can you right now tell me how many users are there on Facebook in India? How many of you can check it right now? Do you know that? Because we always talk about numbers and we are kind of clueless. Is 60 million the right number, or 110 or 120? So especially on Facebook, if you get into the Facebook advertising interface, without even creating an ad, right now you can find out how many users are there. So I think last I checked yesterday, probably total number of users in India on Facebook is 110 million. You want to then check about 25 to 35 male, female, right now you can check it. So I think one dilemma of which is the right number, especially on Facebook and even on LinkedIn as well. When you are in the process of creating an ad on LinkedIn, it tells you the estimated number of people. So that number, exists right now. We can check it. I think we don't need to worry about any report out there. But I think that's another. I'll share one personal example of my interaction with a brand which really demonstrated that both individuals and organizations are empowered using this medium. And when I say individuals, it could be professional or it could be a citizen. And when I say organization, it means organizations in terms of professional organizations and government as a body. Right? So government has a target audience of citizens like us, and organizations have a target audience of customers like us. This medium is really empowered. So what had happened was, I had booked a cab with a taxi for Ola Cabs, and it was supposed to be my daughter's going to a birthday party of her best friend. And it was 5 p.m. The cab was supposed to come. I was in office and they were to go. 15 minutes before that, they said that, the cab is cancelled. And we had no time but to do anything. And finally, what had happened was they had to miss the birthday party. I was in office, really frustrated, came back in the evening, tweeted that Ola Cab spoiled the party. And within few minutes, I got a response from Ola that we are really sorry and let us do something to make up for this. I said, the damage is done, there is nothing you can do. And I'm going to write a review. Next morning, I got a call from their customer care head. He shared about the experience. He apologized. He had heard everything. My wife had a discussion with Ola Cab's customer care executive, and he said, please give us a time to do something about it. I said, again, damage is done. There is nothing you can do now. I'll definitely write a review. I came back next day to home, and I saw my 7-year daughter. She was really playing, and she was so happy. I said, what happened? And she said that we have got a cake. And what I saw was, Ola Cabs, what they had done was they had sent a cake. And what was very interesting was what was there as a personal message on the top of that cake box, which said that, we really understand the damage, which is more of an emotional damage which is done. And this damage is about, so it was to my daughter that, hey kiddo, you missed going to your best friend's birthday party. We apologize for that. This is a cake you can enjoy, and we have added some credit to your mother's account. You can still go out. So what I realized was that, they took the effort and they took the pain to understand what exactly the damage was. and got into a situation where they literally turned around my experience. So instead of me writing a review about them, there would be at least 100 conferences I would have talked about how Ola Cabs turned me from a frustrated customer to a brand ambassador. So I think this medium, if used well, even in the situations of emergencies, you can really, build that trust back. And that's available for both organizations as well as for government. That's what I would want to say. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Pradeep. And incidentally, while you were speaking, I had showed all of that story on the screen.
Personal,
Yeah.
message which was on that cake box.
Yeah. So I showed all the cake which people will be salivating now
It
to
was eaten by the
have
time
one
I went
today.
home. But otherwise, it was very beautiful cake.
So thank you very much. That was a very good one. And I have another story to tell you. There is an organization called CG Net Swara who has reporters in the middle of Chhattisgarh who use mobile to send report back to the server through IVR and the call. But this is just a mobile and the server, and then they propagate the same message on the Facebook and other medium, and then get attention from the government to take action on whether their hand pumps are working or not, or Narega payments have been done or not. So there is a mix, convergence of medium also makes a lot of impact. So story is not only the cab drivers also and the cab people who can travel on cabs, but from rural India and the rural parts of the country and the region. Thank you very much. Is there some interventions from the audience for the people on the dais? That will be wonderful. Anybody? Yes.
I have a question. Anybody could take it, Gautam, or question is very simple. We are talking here about social media empowerment, and at the same time, a lot of people get arrested because they like something or they posted something. So, yeah. Could everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. So what is your take on that? There is, on the one side, we talk of empowering people to be able to speak their mind freely. At the same time, people get arrested, or they're treated very badly, they're sent to jail just because they put something on social media.
Gautam, you want to address that? Yes, please.
Like in offices, if you see, we talk about social media, but if you go to the offices, there are many offices, social media, especially like Facebook and all that, and we talk a lot about social media, promotion of social media and all. So office time, I know that it's difficult because there are a lot of work also, but somewhere engagement with the social media is also important. So how we see when we ban social media in offices. So the, one side promotion is there, another side ban is also.
In the office premises.
Many offices premises. Like if you go to the corporates, even in NGO sector, petroleum agencies, big NGOs, they all ban social media in their offices.
Any more? Okay, Gautam.
Yeah, so the person who asked the question about arrests because of likes and dislikes, nothing gives me greater annoyance than that. Nothing frustrates me personally more than that. But this is largely because of, it's the reaction of the entrenched. It's the reaction of the powerful who want to smother the voices. Now, there are two aspects of it, moral and legal. What they are doing is the legal part. This is because of outdated laws. And I think we do need to review laws in the context of this new medium, the new India that is now coming, that is being born partly through social media. I think social media laws will have to change, particularly Section 66A. That will have to go. But I would like to put these 2 or 3 or maybe 7 arrests in context. Of the 140 or what, 114 million users you said?
110 million.
110 million users. If only 7 people are arrested, to me it is statistically insignificant to see it as a trend. What I see is more important is that just these 7 people or 5 people, the amount of noise that has been created, the amount of shame, the infamy that has been thrust upon the people who arrested them has been quite heavy. The girls in Maharashtra may have suffered a bit, their families may have suffered a bit, but I think at the end of the day, the government suffered much more in terms of reputation. And all these cases have added their weight behind and momentum to the changing of laws. I'm very optimistic that these laws will change.
Just to give you a quick on that, I think apart from the law, there is a huge amount of awareness and education that needs to take place among the government officials and especially the law keepers. 99% of such incidences is because they do not understand the law, how it is implied, and work on political pressure or something like that, or psychophancy also sometimes, because they arrest because their government, you're saying something against their political leader or something like that. I think these are, I would say, are the very good indication that they're getting irritated and their irritation is showing, and therefore some action will be required and they will learn faster. And I said now that the ministries and the departments have started hiring people, it's only because of that, since they do not understand, they need experts in their premises, who can take care of it. Two more interventions, yeah? Can somebody take the mic there? At the back side.
Would any of you like to comment on how social media might provide counter narratives to official state narratives, as well as to mainstream media narratives? I find this particularly in the context of interactions between Indians and Pakistanis. On mainstream media, there is just so much coverage of violence, cross-border violations, etc. But when you look at the conversations that are happening on social media, it's so very different. On the one hand, there are people calling each other names across the border, but there's a lot of conversation also around how there are things that we share in common. There are things that Indians and Pakistanis can collaborate on. So is there anything that you'd like to say on that?
You already said, I think, the positive side. And, I know that you work a lot on in terms of regional collaboration and especially India, Pakistan. And the good news is that there are, if I look at about 3,000 to 4,000 of the followers on myself on Facebook, there is a significant number that is from the region. And sometimes I feel why, I don't know, but maybe because the work that we do. But the point that you are being followed by the region and the different country is not only that we dislike people or the people from different countries is a very good sign. I would say social media is going to bridge lots of those, what you call as the topics that politics want to always keep alive, and not the other side. For example, when you travel to Pakistan, you will always feel that why the hell we keep talking about this hatred and all that. If you go there, you feel like you are welcome more than anything else. So those things are going to come up because they were hidden. Now that social media is in the social domain, I'm sure all these stories are going to come out and going to take over the other way of propagating what is important and not important. Anybody else? Because we are last intervention and then we are going to close now.